So, what if you could have a 16-inch touch display that was also a computer you could pack up to carry, but that could also convert to a 12-inch laptop, but that was also durable enough to gain MIL-SPEC certification? I know. Let me explain. This is the 2022 Lenovo ThinkPad X1 Fold, and regardless of what you thought of its earlier predecessor from 2 years ago, this is not that computer. I mean, if you remember, Michael Fisher did all he could to love it, but could not. But it was mainly because at the time it was pretty experimental. This year's X1 Fold is a completely different animal with a couple of use cases that make all the logical sense in the world. Reporting from both New York City and Berlin with Adam Lein on camera, I'm Jaime Rivera with Pocketnow, and let's dive into our hands-on. So let's get a few obvious things out of the way. Yes, this new ThinkPad X1 Fold is a complete redesign from what we had before. This baby is not trying to be a tablet one bit. To envision it correctly, think more of the fact that it has ThinkPad in the name, and consider it more of a laptop that can become something else. So yeah, instead of the extended 13-inch display, think larger now with a panel that goes all the way to 16.3 inches. Instead of the chunky build from the past, think thinner and more refined than before. Instead of just some weird netbook when folded, now we're talking about a 12-inch equivalent instead, making this feel more like a real notebook computer. Surely we do lose the kickstand that was built in, but I'm actually not going to complain because this feels so much easier to carry from one room to the next. Lenovo actually made it more modular on the inside. The textured back can be removed for you to replace the SSD for more storage, and even the option to get a larger battery, making it pretty crazy that they were able to make this device thinner but without affecting serviceability. Obviously, that means it's not water resistant, but it's MIL-SPEC 810G certified, so I wouldn't worry too much about dropping it in the field, but just keep your coffee in the cup and you'll be fine. Now, while extended, this new sharp panel is now of 2.5K resolution and double the brightness at 600 nits, making the experience pretty crisp, detailed, and more versatile for outdoor use. Lenovo now provides a stand that's easy to collapse and carry, but which I think you might just want to leave in one place for you to prop the device up and use in either portrait or landscape orientation, depending on your needs for the day. The crammed Bluetooth keyboard from before is now gone in favor of a true ThinkPad Nano-sized keyboard that can magnetically attach to the stand and help you get work done as if this were some sort of large desktop. The trackpad is now finally of a decent size, and you even get a touch point, making this more of a product you'll want to use for prolonged periods of time. This panel also includes full Wacom digitizer support, making the pen not just any typical stylus. The screen is strong enough to truly support anyone's desire to get fully artistic on a much larger canvas, though if you're wondering if this is glass, it's more like plastic. Obviously, the claim to fame for the computer is the fact that it can fold, so once you remove it from the stand, you can then fold it into a smaller form factor that's more reminiscent to Apple's old 12-inch MacBook, and where the keyboard now attaches to the bottom portion for this to be a regular laptop. Now, since the fold flat hinge was completely redesigned, you won't really be able to carry the keyboard within as you could before, but I'll forgive it given how compact it becomes when closed, which takes advantage of a bell-shaped design when folded to spare you from a pronounced crease. Other perks include a better placement for the IR webcam, which provides Windows Hello functionality in all orientations. You have 3 USB-C ports, out of which 2 support Thunderbolt 4, so there's 1 or 2 available no matter how you place it. Heck, there's even a third speaker built in, so that stereo audio is available on all modes, and addressing one of the biggest pain points of its predecessor. Now, as for internals, we're talking Intel's 12th generation U9 Core i9 processor, up to 12 gigs of RAM, 1 terabyte of storage, Intel Iris Xe graphics. the latest Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and even 5G support, which comes optional. The battery might not be the largest, but it can rapid charge, and again, you do have the option to replace it. Last but not least, we have Windows 11, which is clearly better designed for a product like this than Windows 10 was. This allows for snapping in a far more seamless way, and for the short time I use this prototype, I can tell you it fits like a glove. This new ThinkPad is far more snappy and responsive than before, which is definitely what the creatives and business users it targets are looking for. Starting price is $24.99 and with the expected launch date of November 2022. From just a few hours of use, I do have to tell you this is a far better product than before. One I'd be willing to consider, at least from first impressions. Obviously, we'll give you a final verdict on what it's like to actually use it in the real world in our full review, which should come later this year, but so far, so good. Let us know what you think about Lenovo's new ThinkPad X1 Fold in the comments down below, and while you're at it, follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this one, as our IFA 2022 coverage has pretty much just begun. And don't forget you can read more about this hands-on experience in the article that I'm also linking to on Pocketnow.com. You can also follow me on my personal handles to see me play with some really cool stuff already. Please give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. I'm Jaime Rivera. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.